Showtime. age of darkness.
May God have mercy upon your souls.
Something's wrong. Something's amiss.
And a time of evil.
You shall die!
When the world needed a hero.
This one was souls.
I don't want to die!
What it got was him.
Groovy. You know your shoelace is untied.
He's a 20th century guy.
For that arrogance, I shall see you dead.
Trapped in the Middle Ages.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. This is my boomstick.
Now, let's talk about how I get back home.
Foretold by a mystical book.
Within its pages are passages that can send you back to your time.
Forewarned by a wise man.
You must recite the words Klaatu, Berata, Niktu.
I got it.
Fulfilled by a wise guy.
Klaatu, Berata.
When thou misspoke the words, the army of the dead awoke.
Now he's got a date.
Give me some sugar, baby.
With the army of darkness.
You found me beautiful once.
Honey, you got real ugly.
Sound the trumpets. Raise the drawbridge. Drop the Oldsmobile. From Sam Raimi.
Oh, that's gotta hurt!
Director of Darkman. Comes Army of Darkness. They live. They breathe. They suck. Army of Darkness.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Hatchet Boys. My name is P. Rich, and hail to the king, baby. And today I'm going to be reviewing and discussing Army of Darkness 1992. Army of Darkness is a dark fantasy horror comedy film directed and co-written and also co-edited by Sam Raimi. The film is the third installment in the Evil Dead series and the sequel to Evil Dead 2. So the film starring Bruce Campbell and Embeth Davidtz. So basically the story goes, we start off right where we left off in Evil Dead 2, where Ash, having been accidentally transported to the Middle Ages, Ash Williams is captured by Lord Arthur's men, who suspect him of being a spy of Duke Henry, with whom Arthur is at war. He is enslaved along with the captured Henry. His shotgun and chainsaw are now confiscated, and he is taken to Arthur's castle. Ash is thrown in a pit where he kills a deadite and regains his weapon from Arthur's wise man. After demanding that Henry and his men be set free and killing a deadite in front of everybody, in front of the town. So now he's celebrated as a hero.
You got the wrong guy.
Reach one. Reach one.
He grows attached to Sheila, but Sheila's playing hard to get. It's fucking hilarious. So they end up sleeping together, and then he wants to get sent back to the present time where he's from, and then she doesn't want him to leave, and she's like, "What about all those nice, beautiful things you said to me last night?" He's like, "Oh, come on, baby, it's just pillow talk." Oh man, there's so many funny moments in this film. I love it. So yeah, Sheila is the sister of one of Arthur's fallen knights. So according to the wise man, the only way Ash can return to his time through the magical Necronomicon Ex Mortis. Ash then starts his search for the Necronomicon as he enters the haunted forest. He has to say 3 words and each syllable correctly before he can take the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, because if he doesn't, then all hell is going to break loose, and it's like the evil's going to take over the world or whatever, you know. So as Ash enters the forest, the haunted forest, an unseen force chases Ash into a windmill, and he crashes into a mirror, and small reflections of Ash in the mirror shreds come to life and like torment the fuck out of Ash. And this scene is fucking hilarious too. It's one of my favorites scenes in this film. And so as Ash is one of the small reflections of Ash goes in his mouth, and so now he's in his stomach, and Ash like grabs like the kettle on the stove, the hot water, and he pours it down his throat, and he's like burning his mouth, and then he thinks he got the small reflection of Ash in his stomach by burning it with the hot water. And so now another Ash comes out of his body. You like see an eye on his shoulder, and then you see him like leaving the windmill, and he has like an extra head, and they start punching each other in the face, and then they're fighting with each other, and then Ash grabs a shotgun and shoots it in the face after he attaches him from Ash's body, and then he buries him in the hole there, and he's like, "You got something on your face there." He throws like dirt in his face. I don't know, it's just funny, that whole scene.
Okay, little fella. How about some hot chocolate, huh? Oh, dear God, it's growing bigger!
Hey, what's the big idea taking bite?
Why, you... Oh!
Ooh, I'm blind.
Are you me?
What argue? Argue me?
I ain't that good.
Hey, what's that you got on your face?
Huh? Blah, blah, blah.
So when he arrives at the location where the Necronomicon is, he finds 3 books instead of 1, and he has to determine which one is real. Realizing at the last moment that he has forgotten the last word of the phrase that will allow to remove the book safely. And he's like, yeah, the words are like, Klaatu, Berado, Nectu. But he tries to mumble and cough his way through it because he forgot the last word. And so he's like, okay, so I'm going to be taking the book now. All right. And then so he does take the book, and then that's when everything just goes to fucking shit. So the dead rise, and yeah, so he grabs the book and he begins rushing back, and then there's like I said, like the dead's rising, and they're all skeletons, and they're just like grabbing at.
Oh, that stinking wise man. He was so busy filling me full of his secret little words and his phrases and his bullshit that he never said anything about this.
Klaatu, Barata, Klaatu, Barata.
Keep your damn filthy bones out of my mouth. Ah, I'm through being their garbage boy. I did my part.
Like I said, like the dead's rising, and they're all skeletons, and they're just like grabbing Ash, and fucking, so he gets out of there. Meanwhile, unknown to Ash, his ruse has failed, and his body copy, evil Ash, rises from the dead, and he's bringing back deadlights and forming his own army to take over the castle and get back the Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon. So upon his return, Ash demands to be returned to his own time. However, Sheila is abducted by a flying deadite and later transformed into one by Ash, evil Ash. Ash becomes determined to lead the outnumbered humans against the army, and the people are like hesitant, but they agree to do it. So using the knowledge from his textbooks, Ash pulls out of his 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88. Nice fucking car. I love this car. And this car is in all 3 films. And it happened to be Sam Raimi's car in all 3 films. So yeah. So they're trying to get the help of Duke Henry, and they send someone to go get Duke Henry to come fight with them. Ash successfully leads the soldiers to victory over the Deadites, and he blows up evil Ash. He saves Sheila and brings peace between Arthur and Henry. Using a passage from the Necronomicon, the wise man tells him how to return to the present by giving him a potion after reciting the same phrase as earlier. So there's 2 endings to this film. There's one where back in the present time, Ash recounts his story to fellow employee at the S-Mart department store, Ash. He talks to a female coworker. She's fine. She's got a nice ass, man. Who she is like very interested in Ash and his story. A surviving deadite. So a surviving deadite presents because Ash once again forgot the last words, and he's attacked by the deadite and the customers. Ash kills it by using a Winchester rifle and says, "Hail to the king, baby," to the coworker after he kills the deadite, and that's the end of the film. And the other end, and so he takes the potion, and he sleeps way too long, and he wakes up in the future, and like the world's like the end of the world. It's like all destroyed and shit, and then he just screams in anguish. So
you know that story about how you could have been king? I think it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
I'll swallow your soul!
Come get some.
One way. I am king. Hail to the king, baby.
One, two, three, four. Five, six. Too long!
yeah. So we get Bill Moseley as the deadite, the captain in this film. He was great. It was nothing too special, but it was funny. He was alright, yeah. Bruce Campbell, yeah, still my favorite. Sheila was good too. Embeth, Davidtz, yeah, she was fine. Yeah, the cast was fine. Yeah, the on-screen chemistry, the character development was fine in this film. I liked it. Yeah, so I would have to say my favorite line in this film is when Duke Henry is like, "You, sir, are not one of my vassals. Who are you?" And he's like, Ash is like, "Who wants to know?" And Duke Henry's like, "I am Henry the Red, Duke of Shell, Lord of the Northlands, and leader of its peoples." And then Ash is like, "Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. Well, I've got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now, Jack and shit, and Jack left town." Oh, I love that fucking line, man. It's great. Yeah, there's quite a few great lines, like one-liners in this film that I like.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. I got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now, Jack and shit. And Jack left town.
Shut your...
Yeah, and yeah, like he's like "Hail to the King, baby." I love that too. So the technical elements in this film, the prosthetics were fine in this film. I enjoy them. Yeah, they're great. The look of the Deadites and the flying Deadite was alright looking. The skeletons, not so much. But I mean, there was a couple that looked alright.
His 1992 horror film Army of Darkness employs the finest supernatural special effects pros in Hollywood. Pros like Bob Kurtzman and Howard Berger of K&B Effects.
The vision that we create, it is from us, but a lot of it's the material we get to work from. Granted, we come up with a lot of the ideas, but we get some pretty far out scripts. You know, everybody, we'll go on a movie set and with some of the stuff that we've done, like, you guys are sick, you have sick minds. We're like, we didn't write it, you know, this guy wrote it, Clive Barker wrote it, Stephen King wrote it. But I think we take what they have written and enhance it and really make it come to life.
Here at K&B Effects in Hollywood, Bob and Howard employ talented visual effects artists and technicians, collaborating to create amazing works of functional art.
Our collaboration with Sam Raimi on Army of Darkness, we initially submitted drawings, sketches, and such of each character, what we thought they would look like. Then Sam would put in, say, well, I don't know, that the jaw needs to be bigger, the head needs to be bigger. No, I don't like the pointy ears. Knowing Sam's sense of humor and everything, he likes things wild, so we went really wild, and he made us tone it down a little bit.
For Army of Darkness, Bob and Howard had to create a series of cable-controlled zombies known as Waldos. This life-size Waldo was used for the close-up shots and required the expertise of 2 puppeteers to articulate its movements.
The camera work was fine. Sam was good. The lighting was fine. Yeah, it was the biggest budget of the 3 films so far. So I mean, yeah, it was filmed well. So in development, so plans to make a 3rd Evil Dead film had been circulating for a number of years, even prior to the production of Darkman. Great movie, by the way. You get Leslie Nielsen as Darkman and Larry Drake as the villain. It was great movie. I love that movie. So Evil Dead 2 made enough money internationally that Dino De Laurentiis was willing to finance a sequel. Director and scriptwriter Sam Raimi drew from a variety of sources, including he took a lot of notes from movies and books from the Middle Ages, mostly movies like Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court. Used some of Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels, and films like The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, Jason and the Argonauts, The Three Stooges, and that's probably where some of the comedy comes from, and Conan the Barbarian. So Evil Dead 2, according to Bruce Campbell, was originally designed to go back into the past to 1300, but we couldn't, they couldn't muster it at the time, so they decided to make an interim version, not knowing if the 1300 story would ever get made. So promotional drawings were created and published in Variety during the casting process before the budget was deemed too little for the plot. The working title for the project was Medieval Dead, before it was later known as Evil Dead 3 Army of Darkness. Then just Army of Darkness came from an idea by Irvin Shapiro during the production of Evil Dead 2, and Irvin Shapiro passed away before the Army of Darkness was filmed. So the writing, intentionally, Raimi invited Scott Spiegel to co-write Army of Darkness because he had done a good job on Evil Dead 2, but he was busy on rewrites for the Clint Eastwood film The Rookie. After the good experience of writing the screenplay for a film called Easy Wheels, Sam and his brother Ivan decided to co-write the film together. They worked on the script throughout the pre-production and production of Darkman. After filming Darkman, they took the script out and worked on it more detail on it. Raimi says that Ivan has a good sense of character and that he brought more comedy into the script. Campbell remembers, we all decided Bruce Campbell saying, get him out of the cabin. There were earlier drafts where part 3 still took place there, but we thought, well, we all know the cabin and it's time to move on. The three of us decided to keep it at 1300 because it's more interesting. Yeah, definitely. It's way more interesting. I mean, you can only do that so much, right? You're just basically repeating the same thing over and over and over again. But like, yeah, the first one and the second one are basically almost the same movie, but it works. Like 2 is different in ways, yeah. So pre-production, the intentional budget was $8 million, but during pre-production, it became obvious that this was not going to be enough. Darkman was also financial success, and Delantris had a multiple picture deal with Universal, and so Army of Darkness became one of the films. The studio decided to contribute half of the film's $12 million budget. Yeah, it's a big budget. So, however, the film's ambitious scope and its extensive effects works forced Campbell, Raimi, and producer Robert Tapper to put up $1 million of their collective salaries to shoot a new ending and not film a scene where a possessed woman pushes down some giant pillars. Visual effects supervisor William Messa showed Raimi storyboards he had from Victor Fleming's film Joan of Arc that depicted huge battle scene and picked out 25 shots to use of Army of Darkness. A storyboard artist worked closely with the director in order to blend the stories from Joan of Arc storyboard with the battle scene in his film. So Tracy Lords was among the actors auditioning for the film, saying in 2001, she said, I didn't get the part, but I clicked with Bruce Campbell, with whom she would later work as a guest star in the TV series Hercules: The Legendary Journeys. Yeah. So yeah, this film took 100 days to shoot. It lasted 100 days. And it was a midsummer shoot, and while on location, a huge castle set that was built near Acton, California, on the edge of the desert. The cast and crew endured very hot conditions during the day and very cold temperatures at night. Most of the film took place at night, and the filmmakers shot most of the film during the summer when the days were longest and the nights were the shortest. It would take an hour and a half to light an area, leaving the filmmakers only 6 hours left to shoot a scene. Well. Money problems forced cinematographer Bill Pope to shoot only for certain hours Monday through Friday because he could not be paid his standard fee. Missa shot many of the action sequences on the weekend. It was a difficult shoot for Campbell, who had to learn elaborate geography for the battle scene, choreography for the battle scene, which involved him remembering a number system because the actor was often fighting opponents that were not really there. Yeah, the skeletons. So Messa remembers Bruce was cussing and swearing some of the time because he had to work on the number system. Sam would tell us to make it as complicated and hard for Bruce as possible. That's awesome. I love that. Make him go through torture. So we would come up with these shots that were really, really difficult, and sometimes they would take 37 takes. Some scenes, like Evil Ash walking along the graveyard while his skeleton minions came to life. Skeleton puppets that were mechanically rigged, that prosthetics and visual effects. So during the filming of the scene, which Campbell flipped a stuntman down a set of stairs, stuntman down a set of stairs, the lower part of the face contacted with a piece of armor, which resulted in him bleeding. Campbell was brought to a local emergency room to have the wound mended by a plastic surgeon, who, upon seeing the number of artifactual cuts and slashes on Campbell's face, asked, "Which one is it?" In order to maintain a continuity of injuries and dirt on Ash's face on the set, makeup specialists utilized a plastic template that fit over Campbell's face. So the filmmakers intentionally intended to reshoot the shot from Evil Dead 2, in which Ash and the automobile fall from the sky onto the ground of medieval England, with Campbell later stating that the reason they reshot that scene and rather than resuing the footage from the previous film was due to a rights issue. Like, they have troubles with that with the first film as well. So Campbell was initially supposed to jump from a ladder onto the ground, and the Oldsmobile dropped from its so it got dropped down. So one of the cables attached to the crane on a nearby access road. However, the support legs under the crane gave out, causing the car to permanently crash to the ground and the crane to fall off the cliff into a gravel pit. Holy shit. I never knew that about this film. Wow. Man, that's interesting shit. That's awesome. Campbell noted that, ironically, after all the hassle, he wound up using the footage from 1986. Oh, man. Could you fucking imagine? Wow. So, my first impression of this film, I was young when I seen this, and it was on TV. I seen Evil Dead 2. That was the first Evil Dead film I happened to see, and I loved Evil Dead 2, and I still do. I think it's my favorite Evil Dead film. But anyways, yeah, I seen Army of Darkness on TV one night, and just laughed my fucking ass off at the whole movie, man. I thought it was great. Like, yeah, it's got some funny parts in it, and not a whole lot of horror stuff in a little bit, but not much. But yeah, I just love this film a lot. I do. And so the overall success, like, yeah, the budget was $13 million. Big budget, like I said before. It grossed worldwide, listen to this, 11 million. Yeah, that's so like $11,505,925 is what it made. Not good. But over the years, Army of Darkness became a cult classic. Like, it really did. Like, it's popular. I mean, it's got its fan base. Like, yeah. So yeah, it didn't do well. Do I recommend this movie? Oh, fucking hells yeah, I recommend this film. Yeah. And what do I rate this film? Just like the rest of them, man. I give it an 8. Yeah, I give this one an 8. I mean, it is different in ways than the others, but I mean, I think it's just everything about it. I mean, I just love it. I love this film. I love all the Evil Dead films. But yeah, I highly recommend this one. And yeah, so with that, be on the lookout for Evil Dead 2013. I'll be reviewing that soon. Sorry. Thanks everybody, and take care. Have a good day. Bye.